July 6th, 1941. Since the crossing of the border of the Soviet Union on June 22nd, the panzers of Hoth and Guderian have pushed so deep into the enemy territory that at this point not even the Luftwaffe could provide enough fuel, ammunition, supplies and spare parts to sustain their needs. And so, despite not yet facing any kind of serious opposition, this week the advance of the spearheads of Army Group Center nearly crawls to a halt, because when you outrun your supply lines, you go nowhere. Howdy folks, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another episode of the Grand Campaign, another episode and another turn slash another week, or actually, well, say the same week but another section of the front. Yeah, exactly, because here we have a look at Army Group Center. In a rather unusual opening, I have decided to take care of my logistics first, and I think and I believe that in retrospective, one choice that I made at the beginning of this week was completely wrong, and it could have, let's say, avoided me many of the problems that, yeah, spoiler alert, you will see at least coming up in the next 2 weeks. And this was the movement of the FBD 2, I think it is. So it's the one that starts near the Suwalki salient, basically. I think it's the number 2. Because I know that some people like to keep the railways separate. And with this I mean the, let's say, railway of the 9th Army and the railway of the 4th Army separate. So the Brest-Minsk railway and the, let's say, Grodno, Molodechno, Polotsk, Vitebsk, Veliki Luki railway separate. Now, what I could have done, and in retrospective I think what I should have done, was, or would have been, to send the FPD 3, I think it's called, or 2, I don't remember, but the one that starts in the north, directly to Minsk, because I was not expecting to see the other FPD 2 I think it's called, to get delayed so much, because already at the beginning of the 3rd week of Operation Barbarossa, the FPD 2 still did not even reach Minsk. And the most forward base, supply base, or depot, that could have supplied Guderian's 2nd Panzer Group and von Kluge's 4th Army was just at Branovici. And, I mean, given the distance in hexes between Branovici and the spearhead of Guderian's 2nd Panzer Group, which were already at Smolensk, this was, kind of annoying for me, because I was like, oh my god, now I have to wait and waste one more week before I could finally deliver some supplies to Minsk, and from there bring them up to Smolensk. And of course, this forced me to arrest the march of the panzers. The infantry of the 9th and 4th armies was barely arriving from the Bialystok-Minsk pocket, and the 2nd army that now here you see in action was, let's say, just getting ready. It was getting ready to, protect the right flank of Army Group Center. And of course, all the units of the 2nd Army were just newly arrived reinforcements, which had no combat preparation points, which means that I would need to let those guys wait and rest for a couple of turns before committing them into battle. Interesting choice for me was to use the Panzer division that still had a, let's say, a very pronounced combat efficiency, namely a very high amount of combat preparation points to clear the the pocket between Mogilev, Vitebsk, and Smolensk, because yes, my goal was to to take as many hexes as possible, so that in the next logistics phase they would become, let's say, administratively controlled by me. And I would say that this mopping up operation was quite successful. And yeah, so as the panzers were kind of resting and spreading along the line to to establish a defensive position, the infantry was slowly but surely arriving and reaching the new front line. And so here I saw, okay, I have the opportunity to maybe encircle a few more divisions of the Red Army, and because they say at this point I didn't have the available infantry to really spread my panzers into the depths of the Soviet Union. Yes, I was forced to regiment my panzer divisions and my motorized divisions to make sure that those Soviet divisions trapped in the pocket would not flee on the next turn. And here, in regard to the 3rd Panzer Army, I decided to kind of exploit the temporal motorization of my infantry units to crush as many Soviet divisions in the pocket as possible. And then with this redeployment of the infantry divisions of the 3rd Panzer Army, I would like to say again, folks, thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for supporting the channel. I wish you all the best, and as always, stay tuned for one more final episode of this week, which, as you may have already understood, will deal with Army Group South.